Today we are doing adjustments. This is the second video of adjustments. The first video goes through the adjustments of the November 2024 paper. So, firstly, the business uses a markup of 120% on cost of bicycles. Trade discounts totaling 33600 have been granted and recorded. So this means that the profit is 120%. The cost of sales is 100% and the sales equals 220% because the 120 plus 100 gives the sales. So to calculate the cost of sales, you take the sales given in the information plus the trade discount and you multiply it by 100 over 220 because it is what you want over what you have to calculate the cost of sales, because this number is not in the income statement. You must calculate it and then you get this figure, the 9,706,000. So secondly, this is like actually the first adjustment. So the commission income 41,000 is owed to the business. So this figure is shown as commission income in the given information. So you take the 277,000 plus the 41,000 and it equals the amount of 318,000 shown in the income statement. But this 41 is shown in the balance statement as an accrued income because it is still owed to the business. It is not yet paid or not yet it has not yet been received. So and then the next one, the fee income includes 47,150 for February and March 2023. Note that the fee income increased by 5% on 1 March 2023. So this figure is shown as fee income in the given information. So then you take the included amount of 47,150 times 105 divided by 205. So the February is 100% because that excludes the increased percentage. March includes the increased percentage. So February is 100%, March is 105. Together they give 205%. So you want to take out the increased amount of March. So that's why you say 105 over 205 to give you 23,000. And it is a prepaid expense for March because you have already paid it, but your financial year ends at February and you've already paid the expense for March. So you add this amount to your trade and other payables in your balance statement. And then you take the fee income amount that is included minus the amount that should not be included to give your total income or your real income for February that is already in the income statement. So now we'll take a look at these answers on the memo. Okay, so here this is the Afrikaans memo, but yes, we work with what we have, and this is the sales figure that has been given, and this is the cost of sales. I will translate it as well as I can, and it has been color coded for you to follow along easily. So here's the cost of sales figure that has been calculated, and then you take the sales minus the cost of sales to give your gross profit. Then here's the other income. Here is the fee income. You minus the 23,000 here to give the total amount. This is the amount given minus the amount that has already been included to give the total amount of fee income for the year ending on 28 February 2023. Then number 3. So Boule Limited rents 150 square meters of space from Prime Storage at a monthly amount of R330 per square meter from 1 May 2022. The company increased the space rented by 25 square meters on 1 November 2022. Rent was paid until 30 April 2023. So the financial year is from 1 March 2022 to 28 February 2023. So you paid for 12 months, but only 12 months is in the current financial year. So we are going to work with a prepaid expense. So with 1 May to 31 October, it is 6 months, and we only have 150 square meters at that time. It gives us 297,000. And then from 1 November 2022 to 28 February 2023 is 4 months. And we then have 175 square meters times the price times 4 gives us 231,000. And this gives us a total amount of 428,000 paid in the income statements. And then the 2 months, that would be March and April, that is the prepaid expense, times 175,330 times 2 gives us the prepaid expense amount. Okay, to show you this, this is the income statement. Huuruitgawes is rent expenses, and this is the rent expense. This is the total rent expense for the current financial year. And in the statement of financial position at trade and other receivables, so this is under the current assets. We will also show the figure 115500, the rent expense that has already been paid. Okay, number 4. Provide for the directors' fees owed. The company's 2 directors, Brenda and Johan, have been employed since 2020. Brenda earns 10,000 Rand per month more than Johan, but she has not been paid for February 2023 yet. So, my advice is to draw a little block for Brenda and one for Johan. So, Brenda has only been paid for 11 months because she has not been paid for February. And Johan took unpaid leave for the last 3 months of the financial year. So make Johan X, and he has only been on leave for the last 3 months, so he has only received money for 9 months. So the money shown in the information is 1610000. This amount is for 20 months, but with the increase, Brenda's increase, that she's been paid more than Johan. So you are first going to take out the amount that she earns more than Johan to give us 1.5 million. Then you're going to divide it by 20 to give us Brenda and Johan's monthly salary. Now you're going to take the amount shown in the information plus Brenda's salary that has not yet been paid for February to give us this amount that you're going to show in the income statement. And the 75 plus 10 in the balance statement is going to be shown as an accrued expense under trade and other payables, because you still need to pay Brenda's director's fee. And here the director's fee is shown here. Brenda's money that needs to be also counted as an expense. This is director's fees under the bedrijfsuitgawes is expenses that occurs in the normal flow of the business. So you're going to count the 7.5 plus the 10.5 because she earns 10,000 Rand more than you are. And this all is an expense. Okay, then we're going to transfer a debtor's debit balance of 2,700 from the debtor's ledger to his account in the creditor's ledger. So here is the debtor's ledger. It is an asset, which means it's plus on the debit and minus on the credit. The creditor's ledger is a liability. That means it's minus on the debit, plus on the credit. Okay, so the debtor's ledger, it has a debit balance. So now you're going to write it on the credit side to take it out because then it's eliminated. And then because you write it here on the credit side, you're going to write it here on the debit side and the creditor's ledger. And to show you in the balance statement, it will only impact your balance statement and not your income statement. So your balance statement at trade and other receivables, you're going to minus the 2,700. It's under current assets. And then in current liabilities, trade and other payables, you're also going to minus the 2,700 because if you are confused with the signs, draw a T account like I did in the example. It helps a lot. Then the company has invested in 3 fixed deposits of equal value. One of the fixed deposits will mature on 31 May 2023. So 31 May 2023 is in the next financial year. And the amount given in the information for all 3 fixed deposits is 1.5 million. And they say it is of equal value. Underline it there, equal value. Oh, and circle it. Okay. So equal value, so divided by 3 gives us 500,000. And May falls outside the financial year, but the fixed deposit matures within the next 6 months. Actually in the next 12 months. So that means that you should move 500,000 from non-current assets to current assets as cash and equivalents in the balance statement. I'm going to show the answer just now. Okay, then an amount for tax is still owed to SARS on 28 February 2023. So the tax payable is, this amount is given, it's shown in the income statement. But tax already paid is this amount given in the extra information equals your tax due, the 103,000. So this 103,000 you're going to show in your balance statement as a current asset. And then dividends, interim dividends paid 990,000, final dividends due is 2.6 million. The full amount of final dividends due should be shown as a current asset in the balance statement. Okay, so here we go. Here is the income tax, that is the total income tax for the year shown in your income statement. It's given here. And then the income tax, you should always write SAD, or in English it's going to be SARS, income tax. So the total amount due minus the amount paid gives the amount due. And then the total amount for shareholders for dividends is shown as a current asset, a current liability. Here, the 2.6 million. And alright, that is that. I really hope that all of this helps. And go through the slides again, go through the video and pause if you want to take a look at something again.